Arrangement could be very confusing, especially when you don't know what to do with all the elements that you have. And if you're feeling the same, there is something that is called top and bottom arrangement. Top and bottom arrangement means creating a top point in your track before you start with the arrangement. This is called top and bottom simply because once you have everything like this, you can start distributing elements in different positions in your track and create a full track. So let's apply this theory. I have taken a track that I've used top and bottom approach to create full arrangement. So we start with that top loop. A lot of things going on, so we have a lot of elements that we can use on the other parts of the track. So if we digest this loop a little bit, what we have here is a kick 2, creating this beefy kick, supported with a rumble, and we have a little bit of reese on top, coming from Ana 2, and the final piece for the low end is adding another rolling bass. Aggressively high passed with another top layer. And now all together. The main reason we call this a hook loop or the main loop is having a main idea which will grab the attention of the listener. In this case, the main idea of the track is this simple but quite authentic lead sound. Now we have already actually like 60-70% of the track. All we need to do is now supporting with some techno steps and horns. And a slight ambience and high end. Because we have a lot of elements now, we can zoom out in our track. We can distribute this one around the track to create a full arrangement. However, we need type of markers. What I do oftentimes with Ableton is creating a MIDI track and then creating these markers so that I can exactly see what I'm doing. So the main idea, if I can see this will be the drop and this will be the where I will increase the energy. What I can do, probably just copy this one, right? Paste and Ctrl D, duplicate twice. And here we will have the low end. And right after drop, maybe I don't want any hats and I want my full hats maybe here. Maybe I don't want this hats here, maybe this comes first. And then off hats comes. And the same thing over here, we have a lot of stabs and horns. Maybe I can just start with the stabs here. Duplicate, try, now we have this. Maybe we can get the ambience right here so that we have a bit melody going on. Then we can have the grow. Now we already have this drop verse chorus part. The same idea over here, because our chorus we can maybe duplicate one more time, bam, and then maybe cool it down like we did here, copy, paste, but maybe I don't want to have it here, right? Get the ambience here until the end and then maybe copy it here, reverse it this time, right? And maybe do it one more time, bam. And maybe we can have the lead out over here and maybe we can low pass over here and get it out. Pulling down and getting out somewhere here. We can just probably high pass this one. And then the same thing applies over here. We can just duplicate this, copy and paste like this. This part will be most likely again cooling down and into the break. Now we have 60% of the track already. The main issue that could be with a single top-down method is now we are using the same structure here and same structure there. This oftentimes leads to very repetitive track. It is sometimes a nice thing, sometimes it is not. But there is a solution to this one. If you don't want to build a repetitive track like this, but if you want to make it a bit more interesting, there is something called double top-down method. So let's take a look at that one. Double top-down method. It starts with the same idea. We again have the same top structure over here. But double top-down method means that you can build another alternative structure so that you don't need to be super repetitive when you start arranging your track. When you build, so some of the elements could be same and some others could be different. And now you have more elements to distribute. Hence, you can make much more interesting and less repetitive arrangement structure when you simply have more starting point in your arrangement. We still start with the first top loop and it's exactly the same. difference is making another loop that will take the second priority in your track. In my case, when you make a peak time techno track like this, the second priority oftentimes is the break, because that is the place where you can actually get people really engaged with your track by delivering after the promise, right? For that part, double top down method basically means that create another loop before you start your arrangement that reflects your idea. In this case, I actually finish the chorus first and then I make a break afterwards. And you see this, all these break elements actually be under the chorus elements. So basically means that when I was done with this one, I moved to the break and tried to make a break idea that I would like. What I was looking for is creating really this emotional ambience. So what happened here is I started with these old organ sounds or string sounds coming from the Arthur A.V. collection. Of course, I tried quite a bit here and there, but this was the result, right? Supported a bit more. When you are delivering the second loop, you should consider similar elements that would go well with your main loop. In this case, I'm going, for example, the organ combo, which is very used in techno. I just added an arpeggio on top of that so that this can carry the break. And at this point, everything is super clear, right? We can just move a couple of maybe stabs and hats and maybe a couple of growls, and we have our second top, the break. If we go with the same method over here, you can just copy paste this one here, make a clean loop, and maybe take our stabs and horns as well, put it here. We can immediately test the idea. It's almost like a magic, right? What I found during many years of trial error is that if you follow this method, at least double top down method, the arrangement gets extremely easy, because connecting this one into this one without making it repetitive is extremely easy. All you need to do is just pasting it a couple of times, putting some automation, putting some micro arrangement, and voila, you will be already there. Now there's one level further into this one, and it's called triple top down method, and that is my favorite. And I actually use it almost like a 2.5 top-down method. What you need to do at this point is try to decide what the theme of your track will be. Because I had this very strong break and drop in my track, I wanted to have another short loop different from what I had in the break, but still have this similar idea so that I can tease my listeners. And my solution was, let's not use these really gorgeous strings. Let's take these guys, change the chord progression so I can foreshadow what will be coming later on. Rather than using 4-chord chord progression, we are just switching into 2. And keeping it longer. Right? And on top of that, just add the arpeggio sound that we used before. And voila. We have something similar to the break, but not exactly the same. Now, once you have this 3 loop, all you need to do is just really copy pasting this chorus here, using your maybe lead sound here and there, right? First here, of course we will use this one here, right? Something like that. And then go into first drop here, and then we can clean it up. Of course, we don't want high end here, all these things. But copy paste here, and probably in around 15 minutes, you will get your arrangement already done. And the rest will be just micro arrangement. If you want to learn more about micro arrangement, take a look at my channel. I have another video about the micro arrangement. But this is really a simple cheat that you can use, and hope it helps you with your future productions.